And welcome back, everyone, for Week 11 of the 2016 NFL season. Wow, last week, a lot of the underdogs won against the spread. A bunch of them even went straight up. So that means Vegas took a lot of people's money, but that didn't happen to us because we went 3-1 against the spread, and we took their money in. That's going to happen again. Here are this week's picks. The first game we're going to look at has the Baltimore Ravens going to Dallas, where the Cowboys are 7-point favorites at home. Quietly, the Ravens have won 5 games and are number 1 against the run. But if you look at some of the games that they've won, they've beaten Cleveland twice, Jacksonville once. They caught Pittsburgh when Roethlisberger was hurt. Now they come up against the number 1 run offense in the league, led by, of course, Zeke Elliott, who is probably going to be Offensive Rookie of the Year, or maybe co-Offensive Rookie of the Year with quarterback Dak Prescott. These guys might even split the MVP award overall. This is a team that obviously runs really well, and they're averaging 30 points a game scored, which might be a little bit too much for Baltimore. They're 8-0-1 against the spread as well. You know, something nice this week, Tony Romo came out and said he's 100% behind Dak Prescott. It's his team. That's a real unifier here. I think Dallas is going to just continue to roll. They are the number 1 team in the league. If you watch my NFL team power rankings, I'll leave the link below. I have them number 1. I think it's going to be a nip and tuck game. 7 points is a lot, but it's certainly doable. So let's lay those points. And let's take the Dallas Cowboys -7. The second game we're going to look at has the Miami Dolphins going to Los Angeles, where the Rams are 1.5-point dogs at home. A lot of people are taking the Dolphins simply because the Rams will be starting, finally, rookie Jared Goff at quarterback. And, of course, quarterbacks tend to struggle in their very first game. You know, there's something strange about this, though. Head coach Jeff Fisher had said that he was not going to start Goff until the Rams were mathematically limited from the playoffs, and they're still in the game. So that tells me one of two things, that either they've given up on the season or somebody went over Fisher's head. But apart from that, what really strikes me in this game is the funny defense that the Rams play. They have their 4 defensive linemen, but then everyone else seems to be in a dime package. They don't really use linebackers, and the linebackers are the ones who stop the run. Well, now they've got Ajayi coming in, and he's been the number 1 running back the last, say, month or so. Since he took over from Arian Foster, he's been almost unstoppable. If it comes to each team trying to stop the other team's run, well, Tannehill, the quarterback for Miami, has actually been pretty good, and that should put them over the edge. And with a small price of 1.5 points, I think this is very doable for a Miami team that I believe has won 4 straight. So let's lay those points, and let's take the Miami Dolphins -1.5. The third game we're going to look at has the Philadelphia Eagles going to Seattle, where the Seahawks are 6.5-point favorites at home. Both of these teams are coming off very impressive wins. Philadelphia beat a tough Atlanta team at home, and of course Seattle went into Boston and beat the Patriots, something that's very hard to do. Well, the Seahawks come home and they're almost invincible in Seattle, whereas Philadelphia tends to struggle on the road. I believe they're maybe 1-4 on the road. I think Seattle's defense will be a little bit too much for Wentz, the rookie, and it's under a touchdown here. I think the Seahawks should cover this pretty easily. So let's lay the points, and let's take the Seattle Seahawks -6.5. And the fourth game we're going to look at has the Green Bay Packers going to Washington, where the Redskins are 2.5-point favorites at home. The Packers seem to be imploding the last month or so. Aaron Rodgers in particular seems to be bickering with the head coach and the offensive coordinator. They haven't really been the same since they let guard Josh Sitton walk. And defensively, it's been even worse. Clay Matthews is hurt. Their secondary has been ravaged by injuries. They're giving up a ton of points. Their only road win this year was in Week 1, where they barely squeaked one out against a very bad Jacksonville team. The Redskins, meanwhile, have been cruising along pretty nicely. They need to win to stay close to Dallas, who you don't want to let the Cowboys run away with this division. I think 2.5 points is a very small price to pay for a team that's playing very well at home against a team that's struggling right now. So let's lay the points, and let's take the Washington Redskins -2.5. I have a couple of over-unders I want to look at. The first game has Tennessee going to Indianapolis. That total is 52.5. I think the Tennessee Titans played 8 of the 10 games over, and the Colts have played 7 of their 9 games over. Both of these teams are all offense and very little defense. This one should easily sail over the number, so let's take over the 52.5. And the second game is one we just talked about a few seconds ago, Green Bay at Washington. That total is 50. And the last 3 games Green Bay's played have gone over. The secondary is giving up a lot of points, and you know the Packers can score. And the Washington Redskins, 8 of their 9 games have gone over as well. And those are 2 very good offenses. So let's take over the 50 in that game. Here's my Let's Take the Man's Money parlay play for this week. We came close last week, just 1 loss. It's a fun one too. Here they are. We'll take the Miami Dolphins -1.5, the Washington Redskins -2.5. We'll take the over 52.5 in the Tennessee-Indianapolis game. We'll take the over 50 in the Green Bay-Washington game, and we'll take Dallas, Detroit, Pittsburgh, and Seattle on the money line. A $25 bet will get us $1,039.15. We're also going to do a 6-game teaser play. We're going to teach each of these numbers 6 points. Here's the teaser play. We'll tease Dallas down and make them 1-point favorites. We'll tease Pittsburgh down and make them 1.5-point favorites. We'll tease Tennessee up and make them 9-point dogs. We'll tease Miami down, make them 4.5-point dogs. We'll tease Seattle down and make them a 0.5-point favorite, and we'll tease Washington down and we'll make them 3.5-point dogs. A $25 bet will get us $1,750. Here are my straight-up picks for this week. Let's get a quick update on the gioknows Awards. In the straight-up pool, Justin from Bridgewater's Finest continues to lead. He has 90, followed closely by Andrew Warren, 520 at 88, and then tied for 87, we've got West Coast Martin and Matty Ice. In the Against the Spread pool, Half Moon's Picks still leads at 78, followed by Bridgewater at 75, was trying to win both of these awards, and then yours truly at 74. Okay, those are my picks for this week. Good luck to you. Check out our Facebook page with lots of great prognosticators. I'll leave that link. Check out my most recent power rankings video for all the teams. I'll leave that link as well. Okay. For the gioknows YouTube channel, I am Gio. Let's take the man's money.